If you have not subscribed to Alboa Cinema, this is where you will get everything. So subscribe. Niwewe naongelesha. Subscribe.
So now, karibu to Alboa Cinema. Now there is a documentary that was released by BBC, which they called Blood Parliament. So this is a documentary about the Gen Z protests and what happened there, especially on the police killings, as it were. So we are going to react to this, but I'm going to preface this by saying that I'm going to give commentary, especially on how we do documentaries, on how, especially the stylistic devices we use to tell the stories, and how to draw the reaction that we want from whoever we are targeting with the message. Now, this is in one way to comment on the happenings, but also more so about how the documentaries are done. And there's a lot more commentary I'm going to give about various other things concerning this. I hope you enjoy. Now, let's see. Okay. So there we are. So this was posted yesterday. Let's see, last night. Sawa.
Sometimes, to catch a killer in a crowd, all it takes is one little click.
Okay, so the intro there, as you can see, it's the music, of course, is that ominous music, and then there is the transitions, the images of what happened on the day. So that is just to prepare you for what exactly that went. So as apparently on this, they are looking at specifically the individuals that carried out the killings. So it's, I think just because there are just so many eyes on things these days, everybody has a phone and whatnot, something will be exposed. And I guess for documentary filmmakers, that's really a job. When you collect all this information, then you sieve through it. And, you know, you already have kind of your script on what you're going to look for. It is one way or another looking for confirmation of what you already know. But also, it is in one way or another to push a messaging that you already have. So it plays both ways.
In June last year, blood was spilt on the grounds of Kenya's parliament. The month before, the government, led by its president, William Ruto, proposed its annual budget, the 2024 finance bill.
If we are a serious state, we must be able to enhance our taxes.
By raising
Now, this is the thing we have, because this is one of the things that came up. That is one of the reasons people were protesting, one of the reasons. But I think it will be erroneous to say it was because of the finance bill. I think the finance bill was kind of an opportune moment for that to spill over. And I had kind of issues the way it came up, because in as much as the messaging, it was just this organic movement by Gen Z and whatnot, there is a lot more evidence to suggest that there are a lot of organizations, NGOs, specifically different politicians who had a hand in fomenting this, who organized people, who organized everything, the money, the printing, social media push, all that. In as much as the narrative is different, it's simply not true. There is no evidence to suggest it was just organic. There's much harsher things that have happened that didn't bring about such big protests. Such big protests actually happen when they are well organized, when there's money behind it, and there are people who actually understand how to do these things. So that's how it, and a lot of our activists around the world are being trained on how to do these things, for better or worse. But I'll comment more on that as we continue.
raising taxes, it promised to address the country's growing debt problem.
I vote yes.
But many young Kenyans, nicknamed Gen Zs, didn't see it that way.
Now, the thing is with the increasing the tax base, it usually the best way, and this is everywhere, is to increase the number of people that can be taxed by creating more jobs. And I think we erroneously place that burden on governments. Governments are very inefficient, they're very corrupt, they waste resources, they don't really understand a lot of the things you want them to do for you. We know ours especially, it's just kleptomaniacs just everywhere, just stealing everything. Every little program or whatnot that they talk about is to lie in their pockets. So we know that, and this is not unique to us. It's Africa-wide, worldwide, America, everywhere. It's like that. It's just now sometimes, like in our case, it is so difficult for everyone because such a big population is so poor. If you can get that, the number of people that are out of poverty, you create jobs, and that is really to unshackle businesses and whatnot, invest in businesses and creating manufacturing factories. That is what is required to create jobs, not to tax the people you already have in your taxed pool. You're taxing them even more. So the people who are already overtaxed, as it were, are being taxed some more, just the same group of people. And of course, they start going to all kinds of things. There was M-Pesa, or what. Every little earnings they were going into to get. It's not to say that everybody is taxed fairly. Of course, we know with our incompetence and corruption, that doesn't happen. But the method of going about it, obviously, because all of you said you was going to be for the hustlers, or you talked down on us, who were warning you. But now you're seeing, because a lot of these people have never created anything. They've never created any businesses. If they are to start a business, it's to just place money they've stolen, wash over there. But that's what happens. And when you put such people in power, you should expect that nothing will happen. So even before you're on the streets protesting, before that, you should have really taken care of this aspect of voting. Who are the people you're putting into power? And every time we do this, and every time it's the same reaction, the same complaints, it just gets redundant now. And every time people are told that, they want to assume their part in this. They want to dismiss their part of voting for these people. That is not going to happen. There's no solution that comes out of this. And you see, when you put a lot of youths who are driven by emotion and what they don't have and whatnot, and then an NGO comes in and activists and they flame those things up. Of course, we've heard since Trump came in, they told us what these NGOs are doing, the way they interfere in our politics, the way they foment political unrest and all these things. So it becomes this really, how do I describe it? It's really this situation where nothing is really working properly. Even the things we pretend like these protests are for us, and it's really people who are in us. The government is bad, but on top of that, you're having foreigners fomenting political unrest, using the passions and the legitimate gripes of the population, the youth and everyone else. Everybody is suffering, it's just not the youth. So they use that to foment and then try to do their own things over here. So they'll still deal with Ruto. They still deal with him, invite him, give him money, knowing that he's not going to do anything with them. So why would you follow the same organizations that tell you should go protest the same person?
Our members of parliament, the president, they are not listening to us at all.
People just had enough of everything. That is where it all began.
On June 25th.
Now, the likes of Boniface Mwangi, of course, all these activists, this is their deal. Unfortunately, these guys have been around there making noise so much, but all we are seeing is they're getting richer themselves. They're getting more power, being flown everywhere. What we are seeing that is some of these guys are getting $200-300 million shillings per year to do whatever activism they are doing around. They call it activism, like Boni and whatnot. And I just... people have to be a bit more alert to this nonsense, and they are alert to the people that they are putting their trust in. This is their business, is to be activists. So how is that even something that you're not going to question, especially if somebody is making a lot of money out of it?
Everything changed. more than 100,000 Kenyans hit the streets of Nairobi. Their aim? Occupy the parliament.
They were going there as owners of the house. It's a people's assembly, belongs to the people.
Yeah, but the people choose the people that are in there. You can't just all of us, 55 million of us, go there. I mean, you see, this kind of sleight of hand, kind of word game, it's what a lot of us, because it's emotional, it makes us, oh, it's ours. Yes, yes, it is. But you elect people to represent you, because not every single one of us can go in there or even articulate these things that you listen to every single person and then you make a decision. So when you say that, yes, it is, but you voted for the people to make the decisions. As I was saying before, you have to think on what has precipitated this. Who did you vote for? Did they just give you a 200, a 500, a 1,000 for you to give their vote, and then you complain later when you knew he was corrupt? He's paying you during the campaigns. That's already a high-level corruption. But you guys have normalized it. If somebody doesn't come with money, you don't vote for them. So how do you expect it to change at all? And how do you allow people to manipulate you? Okay, I know why. It's because you understand you made the mistake, but you don't want to take responsibility for it. And that's the problem I have with the guys of like Kokinaboni here, because that's the whole thing is agitation. Who's funding you? Why are you people not transparent about who's giving you money to do these things? Who's giving you money to do the printing and all that, and all the social media activism and all the little meetings that you're able to organize with government officials and everybody? Who's giving you money to do that? That's important. Ask yourself that question.
First, security forces held them back with tear gas and truncheons. But as the day went on, tactics changed.
Every single time we went to the streets, we even had our hands up saying, we are peaceful, we are peaceful. But they still gun people down.
Save time creating content and generate a high quality.
At least 3 young men were killed at Kenya's parliament. David Chege, Erickson Mutisia, and Eric Shieni. That evening, President Ruto gave his account of what had happened.
Today, an otherwise legitimate expression of the fundamental rights and freedoms of assembly was infiltrated and hijacked by a group of organized criminals.
Though he regretted the deaths, he thanked the security forces and placed the blame squarely with those he called organized criminals.
Now, this is the thing you have to realize about protests. This is a free-for-all. Everybody who has something to do or to influence or whatever it may be. There are so many different groups, and every time we send a warning, because we've done all these things before as older fellows. Every time we're sounding a warning, we're not telling you not to show your dissatisfaction. But such emotional outbursts are easy to manipulate by so many nefarious characters. And that's why, in as much as we want to shout and do what, the only way we really get solutions is actually rational thought. Emotionless almost. Rational thought, this is this way. Why am I voting for this person? They've shown me they're this. Suddenly they're rich and they were not before. Like all this. Like, where are these people getting all that? Why are they so rich? Those are the questions. Why is this person coming to me asking me for a vote who I don't even know where they got their money from? Why are they in front of me asking? Why do they have the power to come in front of me? Why do I own them so much? These are the little fundamental questions you must ask yourself. We have no option but to do that. Because this thing of trying to say, oh, the Western media will do a documentary like this, then we'll be seen and they'll be ashamed. They don't care. And in fact, I might even add that when you're seeing a Western media station like BBC doing such a documentary, it is planned specifically for whatever their purposes UK or whoever the Western world has here. They play ball with Ruto one time. If he doesn't play ball with them, or he says, oh, he takes their money, doesn't do what they want. Now they say, oh, we are gonna turn your country ungovernable. They've done that. They did that in Ukraine. They've done that in South America, everywhere. So it's important for you to look at these things carefully, because a lot of us just want to overrule everyone with their emotions and their... No. Especially on something like this, that you had a pertinent role in making happen, putting such people in power, not just Ruto, everyone else that you put in power there that is not doing their job right now, it's your fault. It's our, let me just say our fault, although I didn't rubber stamp any of these people. And I thought that was the right thing to do. Because if somebody doesn't meet your requirements on any job, you don't give them the job. And if they've shown from before that they can't really do the job, and you still give them the job, you see how this doesn't make any sense.
Since then, no official investigation has been published, and no one held to account for the killings on June 25th. But BBC Africa Eye has been digging. We've mapped more than 5,000 photos and videos to reconstruct those killings.
You could see he's clearly aiming, meaning he was aiming to kill as a message to them.
Now, we can show...
You see, you can just say he was aiming, that it looked like you want to kill. The other, it's like a message to them. That is, you're adding your own feelings onto it. You see, when you're doing news, it's not about also giving people a reason per se. You are saying, this is what happened on here, this person shot here, this person did, so this is the person that shot here. There's no other emotions about, because that's what activists do. They try to add on the emotional baggage on top of that to skew thinking and reactions. So I want you guys to notice that when somebody like that says, oh, they were sending a message, this could just be an idiot cop. Because a lot of these cops you see now, they behave, when you've dealt with them, these are not like rational people you can argue with. You've seen a lot of them, they have one of the highest suicide rates in the country. The things they've done and they do every time, and the lack of impulse control we have among our so-called disciplined forces, they're extremely indisciplined. So there's so many. So when you're watching these things, always try to filter out the baggage they put on to try and skew your thinking. Watch it for what it is. This is the person, this is the person, this is the person. Why are they not in jail or whatnot? Why is there not an investigation? One step after another, not jumping to motivation before, because that is emotional manipulation.
Show you exactly what happened. We can pick out the killers in the crowd. We can reveal who they were working for. And we can offer an answer to one simple question. Was there any reason to spill blood on the grounds of Kenya's parliament?
Yes, political power. That's what, yes, there is a reason. We all know why the reason is political power. You are, the president and everyone involved felt that their power would be overcome, because this is what happens a lot of the times. Will overcome by the masses. It can happen very easily, especially when many people are organized and they're doing a certain thing. They can overcome you. So often, what most dictator or dictatorial like governments do is that violence is all. You always have to underpin. These things are all underpinned by violence. Who can met out violence? This is what you're going to see. That's what you saw here. People are fighting for political office and power to stay in power. And in my opinion, as I had spoken on some videos before, the process that you put these people in is the process that you will remove them. Otherwise, everybody suffers. Except them, of course. They'll fly out and go anywhere. There are no peaceful revolutions, and there's no one who wins in a revolution. Just understand that. It doesn't matter what you think about it. That's why the brain is more important than your emotions.
When I came into office, I told everybody, tighten up your belts. I am not going to preside over a bankrupt country. I am not going to preside over a country that is in debt distress.
But he's gone back against all those things. Then now they're putting this body's face. This is for dramatic effect. I mean, it's not even like anyway.
In 2024, the government produces another finance bill.
Taxing basic commodities. So people.
Hanifa, you're not a journalist and activist. You're an activist. That's what your job is. This thing of tagging on journalists, because we see a lot of this in mainstream media. There are a lot of activists based, especially in the West. People are called journalists, but really they're just propagandists. They're just pushing whatever the activism is around. So let's be clear about that. Just say, hey, Boni is an activist. Halifa is also an activist.
Couldn't afford them anymore.
Over the past decade, our tax revenue as a share of GDP has remained stagnant. This stagnation is a cause for concern.
It's already really hard for everyone.
The theft and misuse of money is what is a real concern, not the tax remissions.
As it is. And the taxes are going to make life much harder for all of us.
The whole principle is that you must live within your means.
We have.
But these people don't. This double talk. They speak out of both sides of their mouth. You must live within your means. Then at the same time, you're wearing a few million shillings worth of a watch, a few 100,000 shillings of what shoes, the biggest cars around, the most expensive luxury cars. Like, spare me the bullshit.
Billions of Kenya shillings lost in corruption every single day, and no one is held to account. The differences between how the common citizen is living and how the political class is living is...
Descubre la experiencia de GoDaddy Airo al comprar tu dominio en GoDaddy y deja...
People are just...
These activists also need to tell people where they're getting all their money. Tuache ujinga. You can come here and talk about corruption all you want and what, because you want to look at yourself as the good person, but they're not good people. They're also making a lot of money from nefarious sources. The Open Society, Bill Gates Foundation. Oh, why are those guys funding these people? Why? They're such nice people. Come on now.
Just pained. And our members of parliament, the president, they are not listening to us at all.
This committee did indeed listen to the people of Kenya. From the VAT that was proposed on bread, to the border sector, to the eco levies on diapers, on sanitary towels.
There was anger that was expressed yesterday on the streets.
And we start this hour in Kenya, where the security forces have clashed with hundreds of protesters opposed to tax hikes put forward by the government.
You see how they said there were like over 100,000 people on the street, then now it's hundreds of protesters. The actual report. Remember those discrepancies. Remember them.
It was a Gen Z protest to begin with, young people.
The protests, they're not only in Nairobi, they're across the country. For the first time, it was the Kenyan people, the working class, and the middle class, and the lower class against the ruling class.
Even when we were on the streets, they don't understand why we are there.
We did the first...
Except these guys have actually sat with the so-called ruling class and had negotiations and tea with them. Let's not mention that though.
Protest on the June 18th arrest, June 20th arrest, and then we said on the 25th, we are coming back to occupy parliament.
The atmosphere was extremely tense, but no one really...
Because that's what activists want. They want to create the situation, then they are the solution, and they never offer the solution. So this video is going against everyone. For me, I don't care whether you have any sacred sheep. I don't care about them. They're not good for me. They're not good for my business. They're not good for the country. They're all pretending. They're all corrupt. And it's going to be spoken. I'm going to speak to it straight. I'm not going to... Anyway, a lot of you people are extremely nefarious. When people don't agree with you, you go around trying to destroy their names and their reputations everywhere. We know you, Bana. We know you're here in it for the money, and you're willing to place so many young people's lives at risk for your narratives.
Anticipated what would have happened on 25th.
Honorable members, We have quorum to transact business.
June 25th, 2024.
Yes, order.
9:30 a.m. at Kenya's parliament.
We are dealing with a very important issue of the finance bill.
Inside, MPs are filing in for the last reading of the government's finance bill. Outside,
it was a party. It was a beautiful party. Kids came out with Bluetooth speakers and their water. It was a carnival, the entire city. There was no distraction.
You see, it's laying out, obviously, what wasn't the case. So we're just going to just dance and, you know, say nothing. We are just going to occupy parliament peacefully and do nothing. Like, what does that make any sense to you? How can you want to take power and just be peaceful? I don't like the emotional manipulation. These people have done this, like this type of activism and what, and creating this kind of this kind of unrest in countries. It has happened everywhere, and it's the same way. The manual is out, and all these activists have it. Just don't be naive. That's all I'm saying.
There was no violence. There was only one goal. When we started reading the bill, we go to parliament.
And do what in parliament? That was actually like what is it for? You see, these people, they are putting themselves in front of this like as heroes. They're coming to save people. No, they're here to get pictures and what we are watching now. Because they know these guys are going to act accordingly, and they know the police are going to act accordingly. Like, this is not new or even strange. They just know what's going to happen. Because it's happened 100,000 number of times before.
I would look at every corner and every side. I really felt that this was it. This is something this country has never seen before.
Oh, you see, this is the kind of nonsense I don't like. We've had bigger and more profound. But you see, everybody else is like, this never happened. No, it's happened so many times before. You see, the problem with Gen Z. It's not like you guys just started this. Do you know how many people died even for the Constitution alone? For Section 2A? Like, do you guys know? Like, you don't get it. This is not new. And that's why I'm telling you, when you watch these things, you watch with a keen eye. Because she's lying. It's never happened before. What do you mean? We've had hundreds, thousands of this before.
I saw her.
She's an actor. She's acting. It's acting.
My name is Ademba Alans. I'm a journalist by profession, currently in school. On June 25th, for me it was just a normal day. I knew people would just be there, shout, Ruto must go. People are live streaming on their TikTok, on their Instagram, and now the media is here. These things are being live streamed on national TVs.
Let me see something. Is this guy carrying a camera? This cop over here. Is this a camera? No, this is not a cop. These are journalists behind the cop. So these are like international or what? Let's see.
On their Instagram. And now the media is here.
The media.
These things are being live streamed on national TVs. That's when I realized that it was going to be serious.
Honorable members, do we put the question?
By the time voting begins,
will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Numbers have hit over 10,000 in central Nairobi.
People said, you know what, we're going to go all out. We felt this was possible, we would finally occupy parliament.
But the police have...
You see, they've told you they want to occupy parliament. What's the purpose of that? What's it achieving? You know, because the thing is, it seems this is the goal. That's it, like occupy parliament. What was it for?
Other ideas.
Now the numbers start getting bigger, and people actually start getting arrested. The police are everywhere. They're trying to push people back. People start confronting the police officers, not fighting them, but asking them, why are you arresting us? We are peacefully protesting.
For 3 hours, more than 100,000 protesters pour in from the east, the north, and the west.
not organized, eh?
They unite and push towards their target, Parliament.
We are not scared at all. This is Kenya. We are one.
Order, honorable members, order.
Despite the chaos on the streets, MPs are still in the chamber.
I vote yes. Ongili Babu Owino. I vote no.
I was 100% supporting the demonstration. We were not happy.
We know, Babu, you know. I've never understood this thing that you guys can just ignore the criminal that he is. These are the people they put for you. Oh, these are the army for the Gen Z. Like, they're just mixing up people, activists, criminal, politicians. As I told you when I started this video, that's how it works. There are too many people, too many opportunists, too many vultures and vampires surrounding the meat. Now we are being put, this guy is being put in front of us like some kind of hero. Because he made a populist comment in parliament about that. But what else? These are the opportunities I keep telling you about. They understand your emotions. They're going to come side with you. They won't do a damn thing about it, but they'll side with you, Namdomo. Just the mouth.
In parliament. There was a lot of lobbying by the executive, those members of parliament who are in support of the finance bill. Earlier on, they were so happy that they were winning.
Back at the protest, police are holding these 3 pinch points. Tear gas and rubber bullets hound the protesters. But they keep coming.
People even climbing on top of those water cannons. People evading arrest. Now numbers are increasing. People had one sole goal: to enter the parliament.
By 2 p.m., police are mounting a last defense at the northeastern corner of Parliament. But they're surrounded. Inside the chamber,
Honorable members,
something big is about to happen.
ayes 195, nays 106. The ayes have it.
The finance bills voted in. Opposition MPs storm out.
I said I will join the people.
Word instantly reached.
Now the other side, the other big stomachs have decided Zakayo must go. Those guys are just exchanging money there, deals, whatnot. The fact that anyone could buy these politicians, that now they are for the people, like.
Reaches the protesters.
After some of us getting arrested and being beaten up, they still pass it to be an actual bill. Now, this is when everybody is saying that whatever happens, we are going to enter the parliament and show the MPs that we believed in what we were fighting for.
At 20 minutes past 2, they break through.
It is happening, guys! It is happening!
They've reached Parliament.
Watu wamemanage kuingia Parliament. People are inside the Parliament.
A lot happens at once in the next hour, so we're going to break it down minute by minute. We've analysed over 5,000 photos and videos shot on the ground that day. We've determined when each was shot, using camera metadata, live stream timings, and public clocks visible in the shots. And we've plotted where they were shot on a 3D reconstruction of the site, giving us a second-by-second, 360-degree view of what happened next.
This is usually, it's fine, it's as a descriptive method, but normally, if you say you have the photo, you show the photo. If you have the video, you show the video. That's what you do. Then in the end, you show people where every aspect is, or you can do it this way. But it's usually another way of skirting facts. So just so you're aware, it's not a bad tool per se, but with every tool, it's the user.
We left the protest at 20 minutes past 2, with police in full retreat. Some demonstrators pursue them down Parliament Road. Others overrun this area and destroy an abandoned police truck. The rest tear down the fences and set foot on the grounds. The incursion is short. They don't make it inside. Security forces return up Parliament Road to clear them out. But with them come the photojournalists. On the front line, one photographer took these. He didn't know it then, but he'd just captured the last 3 seconds of this man's life. Seven men are hit.
The people now saying, they've shot people, they've shot people.
Edemba tries to reach them.
Now you're just there, you're also crying, you are terrified. Maybe I'm the next person who is going to get shot, but you have to help these people.
But for 2 of those men, he's already too late.
There was a guy next to me, was in white overalls. I don't know where he's shot, but he was shot. You could see blood.
We saw this young man in the street a few moments ago. His name is Erickson Mutisia. He was wearing white overalls from his work as a butcher. He was 25 years old.
I saw Erickson Mutisia a few minutes before he died. He died on the spot right next to me. What did he do wrong? Did he pose any threat? Why is he dead?
The second casualty is the man in the purple hoodie. His name is David Chege, a 39-year-old software engineer who ran a Sunday school for children.
He was kind, humble, soft-spoken.
Impossible.
I went to some of those funerals. I went to enough funerals to last me a lifetime. The kids who buried him were his Sunday school students. And everyone had dispersed. I found the mother standing alone at the grave. Mom, I'm so sorry for your loss. What would you like to tell the country?
You see, this is actually the most disgusting part about this activism, is the way they mine people's sorrow for their own nefarious reasons. Now, when those kids were up there and Nini is being shot at, they, of course, Akinaboni are not anywhere there. Well, why weren't they anywhere there? But now they're at a funeral. He's saying he went to all the funerals because he has to collect videos like this, coming to traumatized mothers to ask them, what can I tell the country? Who are you, dude? At some point, you guys have to look at some of these people with a clear eye. Like what, this endless, see, this entire thing has happened. So many of you went there, you want to go to parliament. For what? That's the purpose. So, okay, so you get in, then what? Why is that question not been throughout this documentary? 15 minutes in now, none of those questions. Why did they go to parliament? And tell them. You see, the reason is so loose for this amount of lives to be lost. You know that the moment you go to parliament and then you try to get in by force or whatever you want to call it, You know what the police are going to do. The activists know what the police are going to do. But they do it anyway because of this kind of video. This is the images they want. They know exactly who Ruto is. They know how he's going to react. Everything is known. Why are they putting so many people's lives at peril? Could you answer me? Somebody answer me that question. And please don't spare me all those, our martyrs. You sacrificed people for your own political ends. These youths, unfortunately, a lot of you are being misled. A lot of you are being, and you see, we have to keep it real because you might go and a lot of you are here right now, out here. You've forgotten about this. It's come up now, then you'll have a bit, but it's done. I don't know, hundreds of people died. I don't know, there's so much that went on. I suspect it's hundreds of people, in my opinion. It's like they knew now they're going to milk this for years to get funding to fight for democracy or whatever hell they're going to do here. Funding now, those nefarious people that in their own countries they're not upholding the democracy they're taking. Now they've put first agents like Boni here on the ground to keep on agitating everybody. When they're given a chance to do the politics, they don't. The money they are given, they don't even do politics with it. They go and keep it for themselves. So no, maybe by this particular scene, I'm really disgusted. The committee was just standing. He's creating a narrative for himself. The son has been, now is coming to mine her tears for his own activism. Bure kabisa.
Yeah, I've no words.
Yes, she just want you. Why are you coming there trying to like
I actually think that was the last funeral that I went to. I couldn't handle the more mothers breaking.
No, it's just him. I couldn't. It's me. I was so broken. I was like, digger, Negro. You guys are the worst people in this. That's exactly like your politicians, these people. Till now he's made it about him, how he was broken. It was the last one, he couldn't take it anymore. No. Not all those poor people are shot on the ground. Not all those youths that you guys lied to come and run against this ferocity that you know was going to happen. Like, I don't understand why it's so difficult to see these people for who they are. I know some of you didn't expect. No. For me, if you've watched me enough, I don't trust politicians. I don't trust activists. I don't trust the media. Because they've earned my distrust. They are corrupt as hell and they lie and manipulate all the effing time. Now this guy is making this because, okay, the people who are connected there, these media houses and whatnot. Now it's about this, he has the biggest, he's the biggest activist. Let's look at his sorrow. Don't forget all. No, they're using the deaths as for their own profiles. Can't stand these people.
To find David and Ericsson's shooter, we need to find the moment he pulled the trigger. Police advance up Parliament Road, then this happens. It's not clear at first, but look closer. One officer kneels to a firing position, and then this protester goes down, as does a figure dressed in white, Ericsson. To see David, we need to change our angle. If these shots hit him too, that officer's 50 meters from the pair as he takes them. And it just so happens one journalist was filming in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, the cameras everywhere. You'll get an angle.
Same shots. The protester we saw fall in the first video, and David, now dead next to him. There's no doubt some of these shots hit David and Erickson.
But that thing of just going down and you just fire bullets into a crowd, that's when you know who you are dealing with. You know, a lot of these people, so these are the people you are calling the disciplined forces. They're not disciplined. These are just mercenaries, in my opinion. A lot of them are just mercenaries. And you live with them, they're your cousins, your bros, they're always showing us on TikTok how they're so gangster and whatnot. And you forget that part of it, that all this mark is from us, it's among us.
Meaning this man is the one who fired them. But how do you track a man with just a photo of his back? Look at the uniforms. Different weapons. Different body armor. Riot shields. Headgear. And in his case, an upturned neck guard. His features single him out in a video shot a minute later. A perfect match. He keeps his back turned in this.
Now, this one, are they the same? This one and this one? Okay, I don't know, but maybe. Okay, but there's a few. Oh, this back, the back is they call it armor.
One too. All except for one little click. Before he opened fire, he made sure to hide his face.
Why is his face being covered up? They decided that they have to shoot. Why? Why did you kill us? Why did you kill peaceful protesters?
But our hunt for accountability doesn't end here.
I just saw the video of moments before David Chege and Erickson were shot dead. My heart really sank because you could hear the police officers saying, "Ua, ua." It's a Swahili word which means to kill. Why would a police officer who is mandated to protect us be that brutal and cruel for nothing?
After months of digging, BBC Africa Eye can identify this police officer. His name is John Kaboy. Multiple sources told us he's a plainclothes officer based at the Central Nairobi police station. Even after the fatal shots, he could still be heard urging his colleagues forward to kill. This is the man who fired those shots into a crowd 50 meters from him. And this is the officer who urged him to do it. Both David and Erickson were in that crowd. Neither of them were armed, and neither of them were organized criminals who'd hijacked the protest.
This is what the state is, killing its brave, harmless youths, demanding for a better country.
Erickson's friends carry his body to the southern gate of Parliament. Through its bars, MP Owinu tries to console them.
Look, they're behind the gates. They know how they can geuka and immediately they turn on them. They were saying they were going to the protesters. Why did they go to the protesters? See what I do? They know what happens in those protests. Babu Bin has done many protests in main campus. I mean, Nairobi University. He knows exactly what's going on here.
These gentlemen were genuinely fighting for their lives. I jumped across the gate to see if I could provide help, but this young man had lost his life. From that moment, the Gen Zs were very close to Parliament. The only thing that they could fear was fear itself, and they say that enough is enough.
That's the manipulation part. Anyway, the narrative has to be crafted. I just don't like it because it's manipulative. Because they're also trying to show themselves as good people and they're not.
Rather than dissuade the demonstrators, the killings have galvanized them. They try for parliament again, but this time they do it differently.
People came in numbers. Like, a whole stadium is there. Most of them are they fear for their lives, but they want to get to the parliament.
One man at the front of the pack stands out. We saw him earlier, photographed seconds before David and Erickson were shot dead. It's a clearer picture, but we still can't see who he is. But in this one, we can. No jacket, but the gloves are the same. And the shorts match too. His name is Eric Shieni. On a normal day, he'd be studying at university. But today...
Yeah, university students are usually the meat for the meat grind of these political machinations.
He's on the front line.
They were not running. They move, walking, then they squat down. The guards were overwhelmed. There's nothing that they could do.
Despite the warning shots, Eric stays with them as they make their final push.
This is such... You see, when you see this, you usually say, oh, the people are so brave. No. This is when you've lost the plot. You've been drawn into something that you don't know what's the purpose or what's the end of it. My question still stands, why here? Why go here? You might say it's symbolic to whatever, but it doesn't solve anything. It just gets people killed. It just got a lot of people killed. But why? Because there's a lot of us who want to claim the moral high ground when it comes to this politics. Totally excusing our part we played in installing these people, accepting the system as it is, playing our part in the corruption. But you think that this sudden emotional outburst and these actions are going to change that? Knowing very well that there's sort of these NGOs, the foreign NGOs and foreigners who are funding these things. A lot of these youths don't know. A lot of them don't know why they're here, even they're saying, okay, finance bill. But they don't know why they've been brought here by all these organizations.
People now entered the parliament. People were inside the parliament.
Once inside, momentum turns to mayhem.
As you always expect. You see, this is now where it goes to the next phase where everything goes. And this is what they always know is going to happen. Bring a bunch of desperate youths, poor youths, they see things, of course, they'll steal things, they'll destroy things. Like, all that is going to happen. But nobody really, like, you've seen it so many times, but everybody just jumps in. No. It doesn't work. It's not worked before, except for the people that organize this. I've seen a lot of funding has been coming. Even USAID was slowed down, but the others have picked it up and they want to continue. Be careful, guys. This is not a joke. Actually, I would have made this video about, oh, Gen Z, let's fight, protest, corrupt government, but that's lazy. That's pandering to you. I can't pander. I'll just tell you the truth of what I've seen, the evidence I've collected. We've known, and a lot of the historical data that has come across. Oh, okay, someone else's phone. So, as far as I'm concerned, I have seen this happen all the time. So I'm not going to excuse it and say, oh, okay, no. These organizers know. And the fact that they knew, it makes them culpable. Knowing these cops will shoot. Or they do, which they've done it every other time before. Like, what's different with this? Why not create strong political units that can fight the right way? The same way you guys are shouting Ruto, Tosha, Nini, Hustler Nation. The same way you can make your own political movement and win that game by your numbers and your ideas. But that's difficult. You think you just come to the street and shout 1 day, 2 days, and then no, it doesn't work. This is what always ends up happening. Every single time.
The damage is in the millions. Even the chamber is breached.
So the question is, what is this meant to achieve? That's what I keep on asking. Okay, you went in here. Okay, you destroyed the place. Then what? All those people at this particular moment are still in power. None of the cops, I don't know if there's any of these cops who've been put in jail for these things. None, nothing. What was it for? Getting in here for what? Mr. Activist, Bonnie, and what is that chick there? What is it for? Why are you sacrificing so many youths at this altar? The altar of your activism. If you want the politics, let's play the politics within the rules we've set to reduce this amount of death. When you're dealing especially with people you put in who are vicious.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm here to address you. You must go. Ruto must go.
Yeah, it became content.
The last MPs who were just in that chamber evacuate.
Those MPs were so scared. Some were running through the tunnels. Some were getting into ambulances, trying to escape.
The destruction is severe.
When the politicians have to go, they have every means. They have helicopters. They would have brought the army right there if anything had happened. I'm telling you the truth. And if you think that you sacrificing yourself, your life for this is going to... It's not going to. Every single time when it's done with emotion, that's what they want. And they've done this in so many places and they win every single time. Then in the end, the activists see something that, we are still fighting. That's the time maybe they are a politician. Maybe they have money even that time. Even more money, even more. And they never do anything. Look worldwide. Look. They're all these agitators, always trying to put people's bodies between them and the people they are fighting. Your body was there to be surrounded, then disappear when the real shit comes down, yeah? And to see these people right there in front. Stop. Because a lot of these people actually even pay the police sometimes for their action, to be arrested. You guys should look at videos of that girl who got a Thunberg. Like, actually being arrested is like a badge of honor, which increases your clout in the activist community. Yeah, I'm by the way.
Yeah, but short-lived. After 5 minutes, they're leaving.
Yeah, can I tell you why? It's because they went there, okay, now we've gotten here, they said we get to parliament. Okay, so what now? The question I've been asking since videos began, what for? What is it for? I can tell you what it was for. It was for these images. And the activists and the other politicians who can take advantage of this to go, hey, yeah, you see, we fought for JDC. Yeah, see, these black boys and girls. This is what it was for. But you have no change. Why is the change? Where is it? The society hasn't gotten better. Most of you are still corrupt the way you are before this protest. Just like your politicians and your activists and your media. Wapi uongo iko wapi hapo?
Maybe it's an adrenaline rush or something, but your brain telling you that somebody is going to die.
There's Eric. Something spooks the crowd. He's caught in the stampede. And we lose him. Ademba's right. Somebody's going to die. What just happened? Behind the smoke, 3 bodies remain. 2 of them are wounded. Ademba's there again, leading the evacuation.
This person is...
Well, I'm guessing this guy, in my opinion, in...
heavily bleeding. There is no...
This is the most legit guy in all this, in my opinion, because he was right there, he was doing the thing. I think it's for his purpose, because he's a journalist, he says he's a journalist at his campus. This is one way to really like jump your career as a journalist. And I think he's the most legit in my opinion. Because you can tell a lot of the action on the ground is one who's being interviewed for it. Okina Boni, no, them they're just the emotional going to torment the mothers of the people who are killed during the funerals. Shameless Boni. By the way, fucking hell, dude. But this guy was there. He's even carrying the people when they're being shot. He's documenting they're getting in and whatnot. He was already right there in the line of fire. So he has definitely more legitimacy than all these activists. I don't know if he's one, but they didn't call him an activist. So I'm giving you... Have I met this guy? Have I met him? I think I have. Mkenya, huyu ni ule... Is that your guy? Oh, anyway.
Ambulance, so we carry him.
They're shooting us! Why are you shooting us? Why are you killing us?
You see, that's now Boni now coming out, shooting us. Like, shooting who? You are not there.
I feared for my life that my parents could never see me again. But
no,
I also
this guy was in the line of fire.
Feared to let other people die when I could help.
But the 3rd casualty is beyond Ademba's help. A bullet's torn through the cap and its owner, Eric.
Campo. They said he's from campus.
Eric Kayoni Shieni.
Good day! Good day! Perfect day!
He was a 27-year-old student of the University of Nairobi. He studied finance.
I hope that his death is not in vain. And as long as...
The emotional manipulator and instigator.
we live, we shall fight for justice for him and the others who died in streets.
Yeah, you see, every single one of these guys who died is there. Just making all the money, organizing all the activism. Shut the fuck up, man.
Baby, Vanisina, lady, my only one.
Everything we've seen up till now leads us to one question. Who killed Eric Shieni?
Okay. Ooh, I think this video has gone on long enough. It's 37 minutes. I've done 26 minutes. Now, we'll go watch the rest. It's on the BBC channel, BBC News Africa. It is BBC Africa Eye documentary. Now, my main purpose for reacting to this is primarily to show just how really the media works, in my opinion, and how the politics and activism works. You can use the activism to get what you want, but more often than not, it's unlikely you will, especially if you don't know who's planning, who's executing, where you're just part of the bodies that are being aggregated to give people numbers, to give people who have been funded the numbers to look good in front of their funders and say, no, we need more. I think most people, because let me tell you something. I don't trust the BBC as far as I can throw them. That's why everything they release, and for a very long time I've gone through what they release, they're extremely manipulative. I think all of you have to realize one thing. There's no easy solution to the mistakes that people have made, especially when it comes to the how do we say, our politics. When we vote in people, that we are very much aware who they are, how they behave, how they got their wealth, how much of a corrupt human being they. When we do that and we don't expect this kind of action from them, I think it's not only naive, I think it's dishonest. So when we have such documentaries coming up to rise up the emotions again, if this is a preamble to another protest run, be careful. Do not be the footnote in someone else's hustle. This is someone else's hustle. This is NGO's hustle. This is like politicians' hustle. This is media hustle. This is activist hustle. Stay out of it. Make sure that whoever is leading you now on the ground, your MCA, your what, make sure they feel you on the ground. Make sure they know that they will lose the seat immediately if they don't do what you want. That is the way we solve this. There is no protests that are going to solve this, because even culturally among us, we have an extremely corrupt society. It's very difficult to do business. It's very difficult to get a legitimate job without some guy wanting to for sexual favors, or wanting you to give a portion of your salary, or to pay them some money to get into. We have that problem as society. And if you expect these activists and their runnings and their funding to come and save you, they are not going to. Because they also have their own motivations to be there, and they are being paid hundreds of millions of shillings to manipulate you. So as it is, please, this is my cry to you people. Next time you hear their protests, I'm going to tell you just right now, don't go. You're being set up. You know how this gava is. So if you're going, you already know what you're expecting. So don't go. Wait your turn, prepare yourself, do research on the people that you think would lead you. If you're one of them, step up. Make the noise, do whatever you need to do. Do not go on this NGO-funded protest and get yourself killed and maimed for them to get funding, which you'll never see. Organizations like BBC are balls deep in NGO funding and the way they do things. Balls deep. There are a lot of people making money out of this. And you have to realize that you are the content. You going to protest there, your noise, whatever, you are the content. The politicians don't care. You already know that. Like, well, why would you think a politician would care? They'll have you killed. They're what? You've seen it. It's not something that we are talking about. It's not a theory. So there's more tact that is required. We have to be a lot more tactful with dealing with political issues. And one of the best ways to do it is that we must introspect and see, are we really these people we are? Are we honest people? Are we really honest people, Kenyans? Are we really? Do we do any better than these politicians in our everyday life? Do we not steal from our companies where we work? Do we not take people's things? Do we not take people's money and never do the job? Don't we do all these things to an epidemic level, in my opinion? We have to introspect. Once you decide that, then you decide what kind of leadership you want. It's not going to happen overnight. If you're seeing these protests everywhere, they've been paid and organized for. But people will get paid and move on to the next country or whatever other issue that comes up that they can get paid on. Do not be that guy. Don't be naive. Don't be naive to go and follow these things. This documentary has come. Take it for what it is. I think most of you already kind of knew what all the people that had passed on and who had done it, kind of, you know. But you see, this new release already, this documentary, it has, let's see, it has for almost going to 500,000 views. It's going to do over 1 million, I suspect. It's only 12 hours. So it's to the job. I have to say that it's really well done. It's really, really well done, because it's gotten in, as somebody who does this for a living. I can tell you this is well done. The voiceover, the music, and everything, and see, they did it very well. But it doesn't mean that you believe everything that's in it and also fall for the manipulation and emotional manipulation. Do not go to the streets again. I'm telling you the truth. because that's what they want you to do, the rich and the activists and the media, so that they can get their pound of flesh. While you are dying off in your poverty, they are going to Geneva or whatever other places to go and discuss about democracy. While you're here suffering. Right now for you, for anything that will help you, you must hold people on the ground accountable. Your MCA, your MP, your senator, your governor. Those are the people. Stop pretending you're going to commandeer parliament and everything will be solved. That's why, you see, when they went in, a bit, break a few things, then leave, because there was no point to going there. They just tell you they must go to parliament. Why? It didn't answer. Or at least I don't know if they answer at the front there, but go and watch the rest of it there, and maybe you can come to a different conclusion than me, but I am not particularly persuaded. We already know what happened. We already know why it happened. And we already know exactly what will happen next if this happens again. So it's for you to decide whether you want to sacrifice yourself for this nonsense culture of corruption and all this nonsense. We keep talking like we are better people than we actually are. Let's just give it a thought, you know. Otherwise, I always have to drop this. I don't have to have given something heavy like this. Like, this guy is also there. If you can check over here, we have a till number. That is for Book of Car Chapter X feature film. We are doing a crowdfunding. At the same time, we have it right here. This thing here, this PayPal. It's a bit disorienting. So PayPal here for foreign, from people of foreign land, you know, diaspora and whatnot. We are trying to raise about 5 million shillings to produce our feature film. So whatever you do have, go and let me show you guys something here real fast. Let me show you 3D Africa Media. So 3D Africa Media is my other channel for the company, so our channel. So here there's good things you can watch, but there's also now OT Unleashed right there. This is the concept short film that we built to basically raise money for this. Basically to raise money for the feature film. This is to show you that we have capacity. If you can see, this is like umoja huko tengeneza. Can you see this doggy over there? This doggy looks realistic. Oh, this is animation. We're doing it on Real Engine. So we are trying to build this Book of Car universe, which is basically African mythology and science fiction. Sawa. So make those, how do we say? Make those donations if you can. Make your contributions if you can. And make sure at least you can give us half a chance, you know, to go and compete with the Americans and the Avengers. Aba vipi? Like, share, subscribe, finya that bell. I don't know if it works, somebody said that, but finya it, you know, to get notifications. And until round 2.